guys, my name is Aaliyah, also known as AJ Plans here on YouTube and on Instagram, and today we are going to be planning out my November 2021 reading journal. I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's already November 13th when I'm filming this. I haven't put in the time to film this yet, so I have already started reading some books in November. I'm not going to mention those yet. I'm going to just talk about, as I have done in my last couple of videos, the books I've read in October, and the book cover will be on the screen at the time that I'm talking about each book, so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm going with a leaf foresty theme for this month. I have this really deep, here I have these swatches here for you guys. So I have this green color, this deeper indigo blue color, and then this red color. And then I also have this black Tombow marker that I'm going to use to letter in November, I think. I don't know how well the lettering is going to work. We're going to find out. But this is apparently N15. I guess it's an older one. It's one that my friend Michelle had given me. And then I have my regular black papermate flare that I always use. And for the additional deco, I am going to be using this sheet from the Aesthetic Studio. It is her Cozy Autumn sheet. And to help me out, I have my ruler and these tweezers. So we're going to start out up here, and we're going to start talking about the first book I read. So I read The Cousins. I believe I may have mentioned it in my last video. I don't know for sure. But I started it in, I'm going to zoom you guys in just a tad and pull the book a little closer to me. So I started reading The Cousins in October. It is by the same author who wrote, oops, I'm not doing this the neatest. It's the same author who wrote the One of Us is Lying series, which is now a TV show. And The Cousins is a mystery, and it's about these cousins who are randomly asked to come back and visit their grandmother, who had actually disowned their parents, so the kids' parents, who are her children, obviously, the grandmother's children. And they are, I don't know if I want to color these in. They look kind of scuffed right now. I'll see after I erase if I want to color them in. I think for now, with you guys, I'm going to leave them. But yeah, so it's about them randomly going or getting this letter from the grandmother asking, please come to this place, whatever it is, and their parents pressure them into going because obviously the parents want to get back in the will. So it's this crazy mystery. It's really, really good. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I highly recommend it to anybody who likes a good mystery book, and it just goes through the story of the family history and how exactly they ended up in the place that they are in today. After that, I finished the Bloodline series, which I also talked about last month, and that is a spin-off of the Vampire Academy series written by the same author, Rochelle Mead. That was a really good book or a really good series because I finished the series, and it is like a supernatural vampire-y book. For some reason, some of these cap on the back and some of them don't. I have no idea why. But anyway, let's do this. Some of these are a little tight. But yeah, back to the Bloodline series. It ended off really good. And where I ended up last time, I'm not sure if I told you guys much. I think I kept it as non-spoilery as possible, which I'm still gonna do now, is the main girl, Sydney, she went to this place for being deemed a vamp lover. Obviously, humans and vampires is a big no-no, so even just being friends with them is very much frowned upon. And it just goes through the course of how she changed the way that the Alchemists, I believe they're called. Can't remember. Editing Aaliyah will let you guys know if I'm right or wrong. But yes, she put in the work, made sure that there was real change, and she got herself, well, not herself, but her and her group kind of changed the future of how the Alchemists run, and that's how that ended up. I will have, of course, the image on screen as normal, but it was another 5 out of 5 read for all of the last couple of books. So that was Indigo Spell, Fiery Heart, Silver Shadows, and Ruby Circle. Next book I read is called A Spark of Light. I read it because I was looking for a book that's being adapted in 2021 to check off one of the books, or one of the slots on my book bingo. And for that one, it is about this bomber, and it starts from 5 p.m. at the time of the bombing and goes backwards until 9 a.m. that morning to dictate how everybody involved in the, or not a bomber, he was a shooter and it was an active hostage situation. Sorry, my mistake. And it goes back telling you how exactly everybody involved ended up in the place that, or in the shelter, the place. And it's an abortion clinic. And the last chapter, the epilogue, is actually 6 p.m. so after the events that you first read in the book. And it was really good. I've never read anything that is in that format going back in time, but it was very interesting. And honestly, the ending, I did not expect it, because there was this one character who I was like, how are you connected? I don't understand. And it was kind of like, wow, this is who you are. And it was, I honestly had no idea. Joey King is going to be in the film adaptation. I think it's like a limited series maybe that they're doing for that. But yeah, that one was also, I think it might have been like a 4 out of 5 read, just because I'm not used to that formatting, but the actual story was really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to letter in November here, speed you guys up, and then I'm going to come back to telling you guys about the books I've read. Okay, so I almost lost lettering chicken, but I made it just a little bit off. My E looks a little weird, but that is how it is. So we're gonna go over here and I'm gonna draw in everything. I think I'm gonna use this red color for this top header. So I am gonna just turn the book here so it makes it a little easier for me to color this in. This is my red marker that was giving me trouble before, so I had to wet the tip because it was like kind of crusty and dried out for some reason. But yeah, let me just go over this middle section a little bit. There we go. And then obviously the lines around it will clean it up, but that's why it's so dirty here, as you can see. I had to wet it and then tip it upside down so that the ink would flow properly. I'm just gonna give that a second to dry just because I don't want to make a mess and smudge it. But the next books I'm gonna talk about are the Dark Elements trilogy by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the second series that I've read from Jennifer L. Armentrout, and the third set of books overall, because I did read one of her standalone novels a while ago. And I have to say, I really, really enjoy Jennifer L. Armentrout's books. Her books are amazing. She's the author of the From Blood and Ash series, which has gotten really popular over the last year or so. The fourth book for that is going to come out in the new year in March, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the Dark Elements trilogy. So that one is about this girl. Sorry guys, I read this a while ago that I can't remember her name. I'll have it on screen. But this girl, she is half demon and half gargoyle. Gargoyles are there to protect. I think I might have talked about these books a little bit in last month. I'm not sure. I think I started it in September, maybe? I don't know. I can't remember now what I've talked about and what I've not talked about, since it is so far into November already. But getting on with it. So she is, like I said, half demon, half gargoyle. And what that means is she is evil, kind of. She was raised by gargoyles and, oops, making a mess. Okay. she was raised by gargoyles, and they are supposed to be the protectors of the supernatural barrier between humans and demons or other supernatural creatures. So she has to, along with the rest of them, protect the secret. In comes this demon who seems to want to be around her a lot, and basically through the course of the story, he helps her realize her demon side and what she truly is. And I gave all of the books 5 out of 5, I believe. It is really interesting. It is a supernatural fantasy YA novel, which is very much up my alley. Most of the books I read are of that kind. And sorry guys, I'm having trouble talking and drawing at the same time. As you can see, I didn't go all the way up there, so I'm gonna have to fix that. I think I might have to just do it off camera just so that I can hold the book a lot closer to me so I can get right up against the line without going outside of the lines. But yeah, so she learns more about her gargoyle side, who her true parentage is, because she doesn't actually know who her father or her mother is until the end of the first book, I believe. Let me just clean up this side now, I think. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, she learns more about who she is thanks to this demon person. Oh, his name is Roth. I remember that bit. Can't remember her name still. But yeah, it was a really good book. I really enjoyed it. And I highly recommend. So the next book I read, well, after that book, I finished up the rest of the Bloodline series, which I've already spoken about. But the next one I read was Shiver, which is another supernatural book. This one is about werewolves. So I thought, oh, this is right up my alley. Let me read it. I hated it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I really, really did not like it. So it's supposed to be about this girl who has a fascination with wolves. And there's this one wolf who has protected her for many, many years after she was attacked by wolves originally. And she eventually, years later, after he's been watching her for a while, her wolf appears on her doorstep in human form. So it's a boy, you guys can't see what I'm doing, it's a boy who has the same yellow eyes as her wolf. So she takes him in and learns that this guy actually is her wolf. And his problem is that he is trying to balance the life between being a wolf and being human, and he wants to be human all the time. But that's not really possible just due to the fact that he is, because the cold is what makes werewolves turn in this universe. So whenever it hits fall, winter, they automatically turn. They can't really fight it. And unfortunately, this book barely talked about the werewolf stuff. It was all about the relationship between the girl and the guy. It's a trilogy as well. But honestly, guys, I couldn't do it. It was just not good, in my opinion. Like, when I read these books, I don't care about that part. I really want to know about the storyline of the supernatural part. I don't really care about their relationship. So, yep, I gave it, I think, 2 stars. I was nice and I gave it 2 stars. But not a fan. The next book I read was The Reincarnationist Papers. This is another one that I think I'm just gonna write November or Nov here. Yeah, because I don't really have a lot of space, and I think I'm gonna put total books on this side this time. But yeah, so the next one I read was called The Reincarnationist Papers. This one was also adapted into a movie earlier this year called Infinite. From what I've heard, I haven't yet watched the movie. The movie is not at all like the book. It is very different. So if you have watched the movie, it's not like the book apparently. But what it is it's about this secret organization where all of the people there have knowledge of their past lives, which I think is extremely interesting. I don't know if I really believe in reincarnation. Apparently this series is supposed to be based off some journals where the main character had written it, and this is about his actual life, but I don't know for sure, so I can't really tell you if it's fact or not. But it is very interesting, and because the author also puts like footnotes for things that are mentioned to fact check if it was true or not. So this book did take me a while to read. I actually just finished it not too long ago, and it was pretty good. Okay, I kind of lost lettering chicken there. But yeah, I just wanted to do this, the dots and stuff. But yeah, the Reincarnationist Papers was probably a 5. No, I think I gave it a 4, because there are some parts in there that kind of slow down. The ending was pretty good. It was not what I expected. But I would love to learn more about the history of it and see if it's true or not. Let's hope that I don't lose count here, because I have done that on occasion. Okay, so there is that. And now for the fun part, the deco. So we're gonna fill in this section here first. I think I want to stick a pie and one of these here. And I can add in one of the cups as well. There we go. So there's that. Then on this side, I want to add in the deco along the bottom here first. So I'm going to add in bigger pieces. The bigger pieces I just grab with my hand just because I don't really need the tweezers for them. Sometimes I need them, their help to pull stuff up. There we go. I don't know why I'm so bad at pulling up stickers, guys. I wish I knew. And let's add this gourd. Squash, pumpkin. I don't know. It's probably supposed to be a pumpkin. And then we'll add the last few pieces of deco. Oh, could you guys see that? You could see some of it. Sorry, guys. I completely forgot I had you guys zoomed in so much. Also, I apologize for the shadows. The sun is coming in at a weird angle. So we're gonna add, oops, I don't want it on that much of an angle. I want it on a slight angle. We have this envelope. That's just down. These candied apples. Do you guys eat candied apples? I don't think I've ever had a candied apple. I think I've only had caramel apples. So there's that's my little story there. So you guys can't even really see what I'm doing just because of the shadows and how zoomed in you are. There we go. Here's the final flip through. So we have this page, the cover page. We have my brain dump page that I use sometimes, not always, and my calendar so I could visually see what books I read when. And here is where I will put my journaling. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know what book you have really loved this past month, as well as what books you're reading in November. I always love to hear recommendations for different books, what kind of series you guys like. But thank you guys so much for watching, and happy planning. Bye, guys.